This video is the top 5 worst Targaryen kings to rule Westeros. This video is mostly done on opinion, so yours may vary from mine, so after this list you can put your rankings in the comments below. Starting with number 5, Aegon II. Aegon II would steal the throne from his half-sister Rhaenyra and plunge the realm into a terrible Targaryen civil war that would kill a lot of Targaryens and dragons. And whether you put Aegon II or his sister Rhaenyra at number 5 depends on who you believe was in the right for the throne. I believe the king's word, Viserys I, should have been final, but others believe the council's ruling that males take precedence over women should have been. But even then, some of the people that sided with a male heir being chosen at the Great Council later sided with Rhaenyra, like the Starks. And Viserys I claimed Rhaenyra would be the next ruler for quite a long time, and people even swore loyalty to her. Half the realm supported her, and the other half seemed to be in the hands of the Hightowers, and what they could get out of them if Aegon II was on the throne. Aegon II should have listened to his father, the king's declaration. If Aegon II had simply yielded the throne to Rhaenyra, or vice versa if you support Aegon II, so much pain and bloodshed could have been avoided. Aegon II helped hide the death of his own sister's father, and his own father as well, while he and his mother plotted and schemed to get the support to take away Rhaenyra's claim to the throne. Aegon II made very poor choices, was a kinslayer, described as a sullen man without his father's humor, fed his sister to a dragon while her son watched, and who knows the terrible further decisions he would have made if he was left in charge any longer. So basically, if he would have listened to his father, they would have avoided this terrible war that wiped out almost all the dragons, and killed a lot of his family. Number 4, Aenys I. Aenys I was a weak-willed, spineless king. He hungered for approval and was hesitant in making decisions for fear of disappointing one side or the other. And for a realm that was still a bit upset over being conquered by his father, Aegon I, they saw an opportunity in the weak-willed Aenys I. Rebellions began to occur throughout the realm. When these rebellions happened, Aenys I once again was hesitant, but luckily others acted swiftly for him to end the rebellions. When the faith rose up against him, instead of fighting back or using his dragon, or dragons, Aenys I fled with his family to Dragonstone. There he would die of an unknown illness. So yeah, Aenys I's weakness could have quickly undone Aegon I's hard work, and the Targaryens are very lucky it didn't. And because of Aenys I being a coward and running, his brother, Maegor I, inherited a lot of problems with the faith. Number 3, Maegor I. This is debatable with people as well. Was Maegor I the cruel king needed to stop the faith at the time and cement Targaryen rule? Maybe. Like I said, Aenys I left a huge mess with the faith militant for Maegor I to take care of. But Maegor I shouldn't have had to take care of it. Maegor I stole the throne from his nephew and killed a few of them in the process of keeping it. And he was a complete evil psycho. He loved violence and death. Even hundreds of years later, people still think the Seven that Maegor's rule was a short one. He had workers build the Red Keep, threw an after party for them, and had them all killed so no one would ever tell the secrets of the Red Keep. He waged war on the faith militant and almost completely massacred every single one of them. Though again, I do want to point out, he did inherit this problem from Aenys I, his brother. But it shouldn't have been his problem, it should have been his nephew's problem that he stole the throne from, and he didn't have to be absolutely ruthless in how he dealt with them. There are better means than killing to solve problems, and he didn't necessarily have to start this huge bloody war with them. Maegor I took out entire bloodlines if they displeased him, and eventually his reign was so terrible that the realm rose up against him and only small lords supported him. Number 2, Aerys II. Aerys II I rank as number 2 because this man brought down a dynasty. His reign started off okay, mostly from having an amazing hand, Tywin Lannister, but it quickly went downhill. After the Defiance of Duskendale, he had the 2 houses that led the rebellion destroyed, making House Darkland extinct and House Hollard almost extinct, save one child. After the Defiance of Duskendale, Aerys II would refuse to be touched, forbade blades in his presence, became delusional, and saw treachery everywhere. He became paranoid of everyone and later started burning those he suspected or even heard a tiny whisper that they may be a traitor or plotting something. Eventually, the act of burning people alive sexually aroused him and was done for his amusement. Aerys II would mess with taxes and policies only to blame it on others and change it back to how it was to gain popularity. As his reign went on, Aerys II became much like Aegon the Fourth. Those that flattered him and made japes at those he disliked were given wealth and honors. Eventually, he murdered a group of lords because their sons had come to King's Landing asking for justice for Rhaegar taking Lyanna. Afterwards, Aerys II would ask for the heads of two innocent boys, Robert Baratheon and Ned Stark. The madness of Aerys II's reign would cause almost half of the realm to rise up against him to bring him off the Iron Throne, and would end the Targaryen dynasty. And number 1, Aegon the Fourth. I rank Aegon the Fourth number 1 on the list of worst Targaryen kings, something I'm glad George R. R. Martin agrees with me on because this guy was just pure awful. Aegon the Fourth wounded the realm deeply in his years of misrule. He corrupted the small council and city watch with people that pleased him and gave him favors, not those that deserved their positions. He filled his court with those that would amuse or flatter him, not individuals known for wisdom, nobility, or honesty. He gave away a dragon egg in exchange for sleeping with 3 women. And we can't forget he legitimized his bastards, leading to 5 Blackfire rebellions that would tear the realms apart. He was a cruel, greedy man, and it is said Aenys the First was weak, and Maegor the First was cruel, and Aegon the Second was grasping, but no king before or after would practice so much willful misrule. Aegon the Fourth would take from one noble house and give it to another on a whim. He would deprive individuals of their rightful inheritance if he desired their wealth, and sometimes it ended in their death so that he could get it. This guy even tried to attack Dorne, despite his son and heir being married to the Princess of Dorne, and of course it ended in disaster. Aegon the Fourth died as he lived, a gross, fat mess. He would also leave tons of messes, including the Blackfire Rebellion, for the kings afterwards to take care of. So those are my top 5 worst Targaryen kings to rule Westeros. You can write your rankings below, and make sure you come back every Sunday and Wednesday for new Game of Thrones videos.